We are on air, as the Big Brother boss would say, please don't swear. So welcome to our July committee meeting. It's been a while since we've all got together. So hi, I'm Owen. I'm the committee chair for JavaScript New Zealand. Anna, do you want to introduce yourself? Let's start off.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm a committee member and second term and the developer.
Cool. Craig?
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm a committee member too.
Cool. James?
I'm James, also a committee member.
And Stevie?
Who is also a committee member. Hello.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. So we've got a few points of order that we want to talk about at today's committee meeting. Perhaps our first one might be the future of the JavaScript conference that we were looking to put on this year. It's obviously become apparent that Auckland isn't going to go ahead. We haven't got enough people on the ground and we haven't been able to actually logistically get that together. So we need to discuss some options as to how we're going to, or if we can, look to put a conference on this year. So obviously our initial options are to try and replicate last year's, was it last year that we had a conference or the year before? It was last year, wasn't it? Yeah, last year's conference here in Wellington with a known format. And Anna, I know you've spoken a little bit about wanting to kind of explore this. So do you want to speak a little bit?
Yeah, so the reason behind idea to have it in Auckland, the original reason was, original idea was to have the conference in different cities in New Zealand to raise the availability of this conference to different groups of people living in different parts of New Zealand. But it looks like conference is a very difficult task to take on. And it needs a group of people that are really, not just one person, but really a team that's really ready to commit and got connections and time to do a lot of prep work. And it looks like that at the moment we might not have enough teams in different cities to move this conference from city to city. And from my point of view, it would be if we try to stay for now in Wellington and make it happen, because here there's chances to create this team higher from my point of view, because I already heard from people who are not part of the committee, but like just JavaScript New Zealand, I think they're members of the society and the active developers in the community, in JavaScript community in Wellington. They would like to help with it. And another point that compared to Auckland, I think it will be easier to find venue here in Wellington and to have Jen to consult us and just like to because she's got already a lot of stuff that we just can apply to Wellington, like venues and caterers and sponsors and other things. So I suggest for discussion and decision sometime later to hold the conference next year at the same time, like March in 2019 here in Wellington.
Cool. So that would be the date that we look at is March-ish in Wellington. So what do we need to nail down? Like, what do we need to know that we can go ahead with this? So we need obviously a team of people who want to run the conference, actually want to logistically manage getting a venue, catering, sponsors all together, a lot of communication, a lot of things. So Anna, it sounds like you kind of want to be involved in that. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes,
or not?
I can do. Well, I at least can facilitate a team. That's the minimum I can do. Depending on this, we'll see. But I can help to facilitate a team and just to be using especially JavaScript Meetup to call out and Slack, and just here in Wellington we can create a event, evening, cafe, whatever, coffee stuff, just to meet with these people and discuss and just get active group to start this.
Cool.
And but we need I think the committee vote on this idea.
So my suggestion is that my proposal to the committee is that we give you 4 weeks to run with this, to work out whether you can get a team together, have a bit of confidence that you can get a venue together, liaise with Jen, who's not here for today's committee meeting, and get her thoughts as well. But I certainly, does anybody have any objections to us exploring Wellington as a first? Like, if anybody does, speak now.
I don't have any objections as to exploring anywhere, as long as, like, as the person who's been trying to do this, as long as there is, 2 or 3 people who are willing to do that. Like, there has to be multiple people. Putting it on your own shoulders by yourself, as I've explored, is a bit hard.
Indeed. Yeah. James, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just want to. I know Jen's not here, and I know Jen was a big proponent of moving the conference. I just think it's worth getting her thoughts on it. I don't think there's any disagreement here, but I think it's worth talking to Jen and running this by.
So I think there are 2 things that spring to mind for me. It's ideally we move this conference around, and I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Like, the ideal would be to spread ourselves around New Zealand over time. I think more important than that is actually getting the conference cemented in the calendar, actually getting people repetitively coming to the conference, wherever it is probably more important than necessarily just having it move every year for the initial years. We can survive 2 or 3 years where it doesn't move for the idea that it would move eventually. So I would say, like, my proposal to committee is, let's give Anna 4 weeks, and we'll do another committee meeting in 4 weeks' time. And during that time, can Anna take on exploring, can we get more than one person who wants to run the conference together as a kind of conference committee? Can we get some straw kind of ideas as to where the venue might be? It might be Shed 6 again, or it might not be. Explore those ideas, and just the viability of March in the calendar. Just give 4 weeks to actually come back to the committee and saying, this is more confidence as to how we would run the conference in March. Does that sound doable?
Yeah, I will just explore, talk around, talk far, try to find people. Just if even by in 4 weeks' time, there won't be like exec team or something very like no venue confirmed information. I'm sure there will be some like I will get a feeling of how people are enthusiastic about this differently. So
entirely, yeah. I mean, that's all I'm looking for, and it's a bit of confidence that it's not just you taking this on.
Yes,
not just going to be
exactly. Yep.
You kind of worrying yourself into fits, and we don't want that to happen, because I know Stevie's had lots of worry trying to get this working in Auckland.
Yes, so I can just say from now on, I personally can do this alone, and I can be the leading person.
Cool.
Leading organizer for too, but I've heard from people intention to help with even with leading, but I need to talk to them because they were waiting about the decisions about the Auckland, some outcome. Yeah, so we can talk in 4 weeks, and I will just report whatever I will find out.
Let's just put that to the vote then. All those in favour of Anna kind of continuing and giving us a report in 4 weeks' time? Cool. Unanimous. Thank you very much, Anna, for taking that on. It's very appreciated. We'd love this conference to continue. It's a big part of the DNA of what the JavaScript Society stands for. So thank you so much for doing that. We don't have a treasurer. Any more comments that anybody wants to make around the Wellington conference? Sorry, yeah, Craig.
Sorry, just a quick question. Could someone please remind me? I remember we looked at making it like an official JSConf. Does anyone remember why we didn't do that in the end?
Yes, I remember, because we tried to contact people who own the brand, and there was some response from them, and there was no enthusiasm from their side to do this, and some complications. So as I remembered correctly, Jen tried to even just to communicate with them enough to solve this issue, and it wasn't successful.
Okay, so I've got some decent contacts with Malta, who helps run JSConf EU, and also with the team for JSConf AU as well. So if we were interested in that, I'd be happy to reach out to them again. But if we're happy to go by ourselves, then that's obviously fine too.
So I don't want to speak for Jen, who's not here, and I know she had a lot of involvement in that, but I certainly don't think it's a bad thing to reach out to them again and see whether there's any appetite for a New Zealand branch of
Yes,
JS.
I've got a question. Why, if we talk to them and we do them as official JSConf, what it gives us? So what do we gain from it? Just, I don't know.
I mean, off the top of my head, there's a lot of brand awareness.
Yeah, from the previous one, we've got already a brand. We started, we've got logo, we've got name, we've got website. even T-shirts design. So we already got it ready. If we get it under the official JSConf, we will have to redo this. Yes, we can do this, but what we will gain from having them on board? What profit for us in this? So like, why we should do this? I just don't know.
Yep, that's totally fair. Yep.
I think reach out to them. You're friends with them. Like, is there any appetite for a New Zealand version of JSConf? But certainly don't commit us to being a JSConf. I wouldn't want to do that without Jen being in that loop, given her involvement with the conference brand as it stood so far. And I know there were deeper conversations last time than we're remembering. I don't want to trample all over that. Okay, we don't. Sorry, any more on JSConf, or should we move on to other topics? Okay, so we don't have a treasurer, as I've tried to say 3 times, and realised that I shouldn't have closed off without everybody else's permission. So we can't get a financial update right now. But James, you said you might be able to jump in with a little bit of subscriber numbers for us.
Yeah, so I mean, I was doing some stuff for James the other day, just looking around Stripe and seeing our subscriptions. So just briefly, there's 31 active subscriptions. I can't remember the exact number of student versus full, but I know it's a very small number of small students. So most very small number of student memberships do full subscriptions. And we set up Stripe a year ago, and subscriptions are starting to come through now. The only thing I've found, and this has come up once, is that we don't actually have any mechanism for updating credit cards. Yep. So if someone's subscription fails for the second year, they effectively, someone have to go on Stripe, check it out, get a hold of them and say, hey, can you just sign up again if they're interested, or else it just lapses. And knowing how long, it wasn't a huge amount of time to get the Stripe stuff going, but given my spare time, I don't think I will be building an extension to our website to handle changing credit cards. Especially for 31 people, I think we can manually deal with that.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. I think we can perfectly easily email out the people that that renewals fail for. I'll put that on my to-do list monthly to check who's failed for the month. And send
I think they get told. I think they get told if they're cake house, but you know.
Okay.
I haven't got any emails.
Oh yeah.
Because it's my card failed.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring it up. That it was
I haven't got any emails. That's where I have to take into consideration that people will most likely won't get any, or it will get lost in spam, or I don't know where. But it's only us. It's on us to check if one failed and contact them and to ask or to proceed with some action, follow up.
I made the assumption that Stripe, because they send out receipts, will also send failure notices, but I must be wrong on that.
Yeah, and just like I sent to you in Slack, I've asked the question, am I a subscriber? Because I've got so many subscriptions coming out of my bank account at the moment that I'm not going to be able to tell. And B, it was a year ago, and there's no way which I can remember last week, let alone a year ago. So perhaps
I can check that out afterwards and get back to you.
A good idea for us just to get a list of those subscribers and just send them a "Hey, you are a subscriber" email.
Yeah, cool. Welcome to year 2 of subscriptions. Kind of thing. Okay, cool.
Maybe it's worth mentioning, because when I was updating my card, one of the things that it looks like you can set up a card to be like credited automatically, or you can receive an email with information how to pay. Maybe it would be better. I don't know. So it's like an invoice. We send an invoice at the beginning of the year of subscription year, and people can choose whatever card they want, and they will be informed, and they can decide to proceed with subscription or not.
Yep.
Yeah,
sorry.
Carry on, James.
No, you go.
I think we're going to have to just manually reach out to a bunch of our users. I think this is just the way it's going to be for quite some time, and we'll just have to live with that. I'm quite happy to jump in and write some emails. It's not a big deal.
No, I'm talking about future, like to take it in mind and like to think about it, not like to change what we've got, just to consider it. Anyway, it's an option, and maybe we choose this option in the future. I don't know. Just to some information.
I think we'll look at it as we go along, see how tedious this whole process becomes as to looking the ways of solving it as we go along. It's the simplest answer. If it becomes really, really painful, we'll look at more and more ways of solving this problem.
Yeah, I don't mind diving back into it at some point. Just right now, I've got other things to take up most of my time. That's all.
Yeah, that's understandable. Cool. We actually don't have any other talking points that I wanted to bring up at the committee meeting. So any other business from any other committee members? It's a big silence. So thank you very much for turning up to a committee meeting. It has been some time. We need to get back on the bandwagon and actually schedule these a bit more often in order to have more regular conversations. But thank you all for turning up, and we'll schedule one in a month, if only for Anna to come back and tell us what the future is for the conference. We'll look forward to that. Hey, thanks everybody.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Have a good night.
Bye.